Hello, welcome to Beyond a Reasonable Doubt, the search for truth. I started this podcast because I have a background as a prosecutor and that I became a criminal defense attorney. And when you're in a courtroom, the highest standard of proof is beyond a reasonable doubt. What you're looking for is logic, evidence, and critical thinking to help you determine the truth. And that's what I'm bringing to this podcast to help us dig into the logical reasons behind success principles, the evidence that we can see of certain principles working or not working, and really digging into critical thinking to determine the truth behind these success principles that we've heard, either in business or entrepreneurship, or even principles that we've heard in different religious backgrounds. So this podcast is really designed for people who are looking for real answers about how the universe, success, and spirituality actually work, especially if you're tired of surface level explanations that sound mystical but completely seem to lack logic, otherwise known as woo-woo. Now, I have been accused of being very woo-woo in the past, but the reason for that is when people see me doing things and see me achieving success, they don't know what is actually going on underneath that and the principles that I'm using. This podcast is here to open all of that up for you and make the information that I have learned in my journey very accessible to you to use and build your own success in your own life. What we're going to be doing in Beyond a Reasonable Doubt is we're going to be looking at universal principles that shape our lives. These truths are rooted in classical success literature, such as things written by Napoleon Hill, Wallace Wattles, Neville Goddard, and all kinds of other wonderful success books that have been written on achievement, personal success, and business success. We're also going to be looking at, on a surface level, how quantum physics interplays with some of these principles and psychology. In addition to my law degree, I do have dual degrees in psychology and philosophy. So you're going to be getting some information from some of philosophy's greatest minds as well, like Plato, Aristotle, Descartes, Nietzsche, etc. We're also going to sprinkle in some ancient wisdom from different religions, such as Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, showing how all of these faiths, all of these success principles, and all of this philosophical and classical literature have the same underlying truth, that universal truth, the universal laws of the universe that are working to help you achieve success in your personal life, whether that's success in your business, success in your relationships, or just a general happiness in your life. This podcast will help you. Now, specifically, this podcast is designed for entrepreneurs, business owners, and high achievers who are looking for the real science behind success and personal growth. It's also designed for people who have more skeptical minds, who want to understand the logic behind all of this law of attraction, manifestation, woo-woo stuff you see floating around without all the fluff. The third group of people that I really want to target in this are people who are raised in faith, who feel like there's more to the story, and they're interested in seeing how religion, science, and success are not disassociated. They don't prevent each other from existing, but actually all of these principles connect and bring together a more holistic view of how the universe actually works. Now, I promise we're not going to get too deep and abstract in our philosophy or get buried under complex theories. One of the things that I've discovered I'm very good at is breaking down big ideas into clear, logical, and actionable insights. So this isn't a philosophy course. It's a practical, no-fluff exploration of the truth designed to give you real understanding of how life actually works. So subscribe now, join me in searching for the truth, and let's dig in.